And I now call the Committee of the Council as a whole to order. This committee is taking up a single item, the appointment of Captain Stephen D. Giannini to the position of Chief of Police effective February 1st, 2025 for a term to expire January 31st, 2028. Is there any additional comment from either the current chief, the mayor, or the candidate at this time?
Just like to make one comment. I commend the council for taking this action to go into council as a whole. Specifically, when I was appointed police chief back 10 years ago, that was the same exact process that the council did at that time. And I thought that gave a unique opportunity for me to take questions from all councilors that evening. So I would like to commend the council for taking this action tonight, and once again reiterate my sincere hope that this proceeds in a manner tonight that Captain Giannini will be our next police chief. But thank you, councilors, for taking this action.
Thanks, Chief.
Good evening, Council. I don't have any prepared statement. I just want to say thank you for having me here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to be heard and to be potentially the next police chief for the city of Fitchburg. I'm truly humbled by a lot of the kind words I've heard here tonight. I was humbled before anyone even started talking. The people in this room really kind of takes my breath away, how many people are here, how many good friends are here, and it means a lot to me. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have, but I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done so far to this point.
Thank you. Do you have a spare man? Thanks. All right, any questions, comments from councilors? Councilor Kuchar?
Thank you, Captain. First of all, I want to thank you for your dedicated service to this city. It's greatly appreciated, and it does not go unnoticed. But I would be remiss for my residents as well as for some of the people that I represent, both in my professional capacity as an attorney as well as privately as well. As you know, there's the Second Amendment right here in Massachusetts. It would be considered a second-class right. There are two ways for a police chief who holds all the control on a person's issuance of a license to carry. One is something that the police chief could not avoid, and that's a statutorily disqualification of an individual who's applying for a license to carry. Second one would be a suitability standard, which is solely at the discretion of the chief of police. I would like to get your indication on what would be a suitability standard. Withdrawing that question initially, have you ever had any experience in the firearms licensing department in the Fitchburg Chief of Police?
Thank you for the question. It's quite an ironic question because, as the mayor said and acknowledged my breadth of knowledge, firearms licensing is the one topic I can think of off the top of my head that Chief Martineau really has handled solely for the last 10 years. Just in the last 2 days, myself and the chief have sat down and said we're going to sit down together and go through the next batch of license to carries applications that come through, and we're going to walk through it. And I had a conversation with Detective Tabitha Peppel at the end of last week. Detective Peppel is the officer who handles all the incoming license carries and does all the research and presents them to the chief. And I had a great conversation with her saying that I would be depending on her early in my time as chief to really understand the process. And so the answer is no, I've never been a part of it. I've already taken steps to make sure that I'm fully briefed and capable to take on that duty as soon as I become chief of police.
Okay, but as you stand here today, you don't have an opinion as to what would be a suitable person and what would not be?
Correct. I don't have an answer to that question today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Captain Giannini, thanks for coming in tonight. Just have one question for you. Chief Martineau, he He's had a good record of setting some large goals for himself over a course of several years, from body cameras to diversifying the force to a full-time mental health clinician, and he's been able to accomplish those goals. What sort of long-term goals do you see yourself going for as part of as chief of police here in the city of Fitchburg?
The first thing that comes to my head is I want to have the Fitchburg Police Department achieve accreditation status. It's something that we've never achieved, and to give a very brief summary so I don't bore you all to death, there's the Massachusetts Police Accreditation Commission. They have approximately 370 standards that a police department has to meet. They range anywhere from policies to general orders to facilities to training requirements. And it really just sets the best standards of policing today and makes sure that departments comply with it. I think it's a great message to send to the department, to the community, to the politicians, that we take it very seriously, that we to achieve the best standards and to stay up to date on everything. So that's probably the first goal that pops in my head.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Councillor Green.
Thank you. I had the honor of sitting of one of a local group of 9 for the Police Chief Search Committee. Of that group, 2 were elected officials, Council President Zarella and myself. 3 were or are members of law enforcement, 2 from our educational institutions, and 2 non-voting members, the police union president and the director of HR. We were all instructed on the process of the interview, all necessary paperwork to do our task, and our due diligence. We met as a group on Thursday, November 21st, with the candidates individually for about 75 minutes. We all had an opportunity to ask questions regarding decisiveness, initiative, leadership style, communication skills, and community involvement. We met again as a group on Friday, November 22nd, to openly and honestly discuss our findings. With that being said, I want to just reiterate the statement that I made to you. Was that just yesterday that we met?
It was.
Yes, okay. That thank you for taking the time and the clarification to educate me on the process and how that worked. And I will say that amongst your peers, the residents, and your colleagues, you are certainly well respected. And I appreciate the openness and the honesty that you had with me, and I hope that we continue to have a working relationship as you are now tasked with wanting to seek out the mission that's been in place and continue to move us forward as a department. So I'm not standing in the way of the appointment. I'm not an objector. I'm a fan, and I look forward to working and supporting you on how we can moving forward.
Thank you, Councillor. I've enjoyed working with you for the last 8 to 10 years, however long you've been on the council.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that will continue. Thank you for the kind words.
I did receive a request from Councillor Boschman, who could not be here this evening. He has 3 specific questions he wanted to ask.
Okay.
The first was, what are your plans or goals for enforcement of traffic laws, especially failure to stop at red lights and stop signs and gridlocking intersections?
Traffic in general, I will say I'm very excited. We just added 1 person to our traffic unit, and it was only a 1-man unit, so we have doubled our traffic unit in the last 3 months. That's one of the areas that I would like to see continue adding manpower when possible. Our citations this year are up more than 500 or 2024 citations were up more than 500 than we wrote in 2023. So I certainly recognize that traffic is a serious issue, and I'll continue moving forward, making sure Councillor Boschman is pleased with the enforcement.
All right. His second question was, what do you plan to do regarding homeless encampments going forward?
Right now, Lieutenant Jeff Howe is in charge of the Community Engagement Unit, and he works with Sue Christensen from the Health Department. I bet they speak on a near daily basis. We're well aware of, I believe we're aware of every homeless encampment in the city. We visit them regularly. They're offered services. We can't force homeless people to take services, but we're out there offering them services and checking on them and making sure that they have what they need.
Thank you. And his last question, which I think you already answered, so feel free to be brief. I think Councillor Cruz already asked. What changes do you plan to make to continue to improve the city of Fitchburg?
I'll give a different answer in respect of the question. I've been a part of a lot of changes over the last 10 years. Like has been said a couple times tonight, I've really been second in command for close to a decade with Chief Martineau, and I'm very proud of a lot of the accomplishments we've made. We've added a civilian clinician. We've added CIT, community engagement officers. I've always been a very strong proponent of school resource officers. I would like to see an elementary school officer added to the city at some point. I don't think most elementary schools need a full-time officer, but I think one full-time officer dedicated to all the elementary schools and traveling at each one is very valuable. A lot of our increase in crime, certainly over this past summer, was juvenile related. And I believe the sooner you get to juveniles and build those relationships, the better you are. So that's how I'll answer that.
Excellent, thank you. And for my own part, I just want to very briefly say it was a delight serving on the search committee. It's always difficult and somewhat frustrating to have to make a choice between multiple good options, but in another sense, it's really a privilege to know that we were helping to choose among options where we really couldn't go wrong. The three candidates we had in front of us are all superlative exemplars of what we want to see in our police force. And that honestly really took a lot of the pressure off. We knew that there was no way we were going to shoot ourselves in the foot. And I think that's a huge credit to Chief Martineau, in his professional development efforts. I also think it's both obviously and non-obviously a huge credit to the three captains. It's been incredibly heartening to see how closely they have all worked together, how closely you three have worked together through this process. Rather than, clashing or seeing it as a contest of one-upsmanship. And that additionally speaks volumes to the future of this police force, because I have every faith that starting tomorrow, the three of you are going to go right back to working closely together. I think we have in front of us tonight, a phenomenal candidate who I am pleased and excited to cast my vote in favor to be the next police chief of the city of Fitchburg.
Thank you. If I could follow that up just for a minute. I talked to every member of the selection committee over the course of the last week, and I really heard that as a central theme, that it was obvious when we were being interviewed how much we respected the other two, whether it was how much I respected Chris and Matt and vice versa between them. And really, that really hit me, and I took a lot of pride in that, because the three of us, and the chief obviously included also, but we're in the room together every day, talking things out. If I have an issue in my division, we're talking that out. And that's certainly going to continue. Lieutenant Howe, who's in the room somewhere, is going to be the next captain. And I have absolutely no doubt that he is going to slide in absolutely seamlessly. He really already has. We've already started bringing him into meetings. It is a testament to Chief Martineau's leadership. And without sounding too egotistical, I think it's a testament to the three of us that we work together so well. And we have the best interest of the police department moving forward. So thank you for that recognition, and thank you for the kind words.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the appointment of Captain Stephen Giannini to the position of Chief of Police. Do you have questions?
Just one, if you don't mind holding the
No,
motion.
please go.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Councillor Cragen.
Thank you. Captain Giannini, thank you so much for meeting with me last week. I enjoyed speaking with you at length about a variety of topics. I had two questions. One of them, this is the first, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
What are some of the plans or programs already in place to help keep officers motivated and trained? And the second part of that is, what programs have you found to be effective to address some of the challenges that members of your force encounter during the course of their working day? We recently did have a violent incident in Fitchburg, and I know that's unusual in the context of where we have come as a city, which is a tribute to our chief and all of the men and women of the force. But, there's stressful things that do happen. And what are some of the programs that are in place and that do work, and that, where do you see those going? And I'm asking this question on behalf of residents who have asked these questions of me.
Sure. I'll touch on the second part first. We have a peer support team in the Fitchburg Police Department that I'm very proud of. The administration doesn't have anything to do with running it. It's run by the officers within the department. The quasi-leader of that peer support team is Sergeant Lambert, who's here tonight, and he does a great job. Within the last year or two, we actually became a certified peer support team, meaning that not only can we deal with internal issues, we can go to other police departments and help them through their internal issues. I know Chief Martineau spoke to the Leominster Police Chief as recently as today, offering our services because they had a critical incident yesterday. Officer wellness means a lot to me. I feel like I was a champion of officer wellness before it kind of became a popular phrase in policing. I was involved in my own critical incident 14 years ago now, and I recognize the importance of it. The things that helped me get through mine. Even that time, I was only a sergeant, but I worked directly with the chief of police at the time to get our policy changed to better allow police officers to come back to work when they were physically and mentally able to do so. So it's very important to me. I do take great pride, like I said, in our current peer support team, and anything I can do to continue supporting that, I will. We're actually in the process of adding 5 members to the peer support team right now, looking for the training to get that done.
Thank you. My second question is this. One of the really important roles that the police chief does, from my perspective as the director of a therapy pet organization, is to judge the drawings that the children do for the dog license poster contest.
Yes.
So I wanted to let you know that Crocker School has begun this process of creating drawings. Thank you, Mrs. Morrison. And I just wanted to just get your views on the importance of art and creativity, when it comes to police work. This children's drawing, I'm sure many of you might have seen them on the, tables when they come in, but it's really important for the city and for these kids. It's really their first encounter with the force. So if you could just say a little bit about this really crucial part of your role.
Sure. I've been Jeff Howard, Lieutenant Howe's boss for the last several years, and
Yep.
every year he gets very excited about being able to judge that and come here and present the children with awards. Maybe I'll bump him out of that this year and I can enjoy it for myself. And on a side note, I have a page ripped out of a coloring book. It's a police officer with a child, and it's hanging on the wall of my office. And it was actually colored in by Officer Mike Savigny, who I think is here somewhere. For that creativity, it's for kids and adults.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Captain Stephen Giannini to the position of Chief of Police.
Second.
I have a motion and second. And in light of the significance of the occasion, I'm going to ask that this be taken by roll call.
Councillor Walsh.
An emphatic yes.
President Zarella.
Yes.
Councillor Kuchar.
Yes.
Councillor Cragen.
Absolutely, yes.
Counselor Cruz,
Yes.
Counselor Di Natale,
Yes.
Counselor Green,
Yes.
Counselor Schultz,
Yes.
Counselor Van Hazinger.
Yes.
That passes by all 9 members present.
Thank you very much.
That's Chief. Of course, that's
Thank you, counselors.
Thank you.
Thank you for everyone coming tonight. I said it once, I'll say it again. Just help more support. I can't tell you how much you're being fixed. So thank you, everyone here tonight.
We do need a motion to adjourn the council as a whole committee.
Moved.
All right, thank you. Seeing no objection, we are adjourned.